107.5 The River.
Live life. Love music.
It's
Hi,
Miley
guys.
Cyrus.
How you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Good to talk to you guys.
Well, thank you for doing this. First of all, congratulations on Midnight Sky and all the stuff that you have upcoming, which I want to get to all of that. But, the first question that I think is the most important for literally anyone, no matter how famous or what they're doing, is how are you holding up in this like bizarro dystopian world that we're all in?
Well, I'm doing really good now that I see your 615 hat.
Yeah, hometown,
Yeah,
girl.
hometown. I know, dude. If you would have told me, like when I was driving to school, that I was gonna be on the river, I would have tripped out. It's like all I ever listened to, and I think that I was just home, and actually home was like really, really healing for me. I got to go back to Nashville. So I was saying we could have done this yesterday, like on the farm. I had no idea, and I think being able to be reconnected with my family again, because that was the longest that I had gone without seeing my family.
Sure.
You know, I probably stopped around February, March, seeing, because my family's pretty divided from LA and Nashville. So getting to get back home and see them just gave me a little sense of normalcy that I really needed. Not connecting with them was definitely, I think it's been pretty hard on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and short of just the family and friends and all of the normal stuff that everybody misses, is there anything else that you just feel like, "Ah, damn it, I wish I could just go and do that right now"?
Live shows, playing them and watching them. I love getting to go play a set and then jumping down and whoever's next, staying for them. I
Yeah.
was sandwiched this year at a couple festivals between Stevie Nicks and Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm really bummed that didn't happen, because I equally would have been as stoked to see those shows. Whether it's I jumped down at Glastonbury and watched the Killers right after, which were one of my favorite bands growing up. It always just feels surreal going from the top of the stage to looking up at it and really realizing how big it really is, and the platform, and then being one with the crowd. I just really miss playing shows.
Well, and you're starting to do, I mean, it's not the same thing, but you do have a lot of these like virtual events that you're starting to kind of get into. Obviously, you were amazing on our iHeartRadio Music Festival a couple of weeks ago, that Blondie cover that went viral. But you just announced MTV Unplugged, which I guess is going to be from your backyard, right?
Yeah, if we're all kind of at home, I wanted to bring everybody into my backyard. And the reason I also thought it was cool was because I've done it before. I've done it a couple years prior. And so it feels, again, like something normal. It doesn't feel like, well, I'm doing a concert from home because I have to. It's like I created this platform for this when it wasn't necessary. And so again, just creating like little senses of normalcy for the people at home through entertainment and through my music. It's just reminding me how powerful that it really can be if you use your platform to really bringing people together.
For sure. And by the way, such an iconic show anyway. Like, I have very vivid memories of watching MTV Unplugged as a kid. Do you have one that was your favorite?
I mean, maybe this is basic to say, but I think the reason why I want to do it so bad is Nirvana.
Totally.
And I think especially when you get to see a band that's usually like so full on, so intimate and stripped back. I think that's something that people really enjoy about my show also, is that usually these performances are just larger than life, but just getting to have these intimate moments it's just killer.
Is there anything that we can expect? I know I'm not asking you for spoilers or anything like that, but what can people expect out of that performance?
I think range, and the kind of, again, I just erased these lines of like the divide of genre, and being able to, I go from Britney to Pearl Jam to my own original music, Nico, Lou Reed. I mean, it's just something for everybody.
And that actually leads me to something that, and take this as a total compliment. I think you, better than most artists and most of your contemporaries, can sort of shift your sound and shift your persona better than anyone else. You have these very distinct sonic eras. You had the Bangers era, and then you had the She Is Coming era that was kind of back to these folksy country roots. And then Midnight Sky comes out, and it's this like 80s, like Pat Benatar, like Blondie, just total dance banger. Is that kind of where the next album is going?
Well, that's why it's always kind of intimidating choosing a single, because I think that's what's expected, is you feel like you're giving a sample of what's to come. And I think that, again, as I've never done it this way, but usually I have my full body of work written, and then I go through, 10, 12, 14 songs and pick the one that I feel like does do that does kind of give some sort of, shine some light on what the record will be. But I didn't even have my full record done written when I made Midnight Sky, and that didn't stop me or scare me from putting it out now, because I felt like words like forever and ever, no more, especially right now when everything has just changed. Everything we thought that would be is not anymore. And I think people needed to hear that kind of detachment to what we know and what's comfortable, and kind of look outside the box. And that's what we've really been asked to do this year. So I thought the song was personal, but also reflective for everybody. I think the best thing about writing a song is knowing that no one will interpret it the same way that for your same reason of writing it, knowing that people will make it their own, and people's own perspective kind of changes the way that they listen to your music.
So the rest of the album, I'm assuming now pretty much written, ready to go?
Pretty much written, ready to go. I actually listened to a bunch of it in my car today, and everything is sounding so wicked. And one of the things I love about it is like the diversity of sound that it does have, just like Backyard Sessions I'm going to do with the covers. It really just tells a story, and I feel like the album is sonically me. It makes up, if it could take a physical form, it would paint a picture of myself. So the influences range from Dolly to Stevie to Joan to Cornell. Hold on no.
Yes.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Uh-uh.
It was like this.
No.
Yes. It was sorry, but it wasn't on you. It was like flying in your face area.
I can't do this. It has to go. Hold on, there was an emergency.
No.
A she emergency.
You have to tell me what just happened.
Oh, I'm just going to leave it at there was a fly that was trying to steal my thunder. The same fly that's on the cover of Time magazine that's flying right there. Okay, but we're good.
How very appropriate.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So this fly got a little taste for attention last night and is a total addict. This is what fame does to living beings.
Gotta hijack
You
everybody's
gotta have more
Zoom
and more
calls
and
now.
more. Yeah.
I do want to talk about something that I just saw actually on your Instagram today that I think is very cool that you're doing this. And it's, I believe, the same weekend that your MTV Unplugged performance is. And that's the Save Our Stages Festival. So you're doing this event. Foo Fighters are on it, and Kelsey Ballerini and B. Miller and Dave Matthews Band. I'm sure, being from Nashville, you have distinct memories of going to like a club show at like an Exit Inn or a Bluebird Cafe.
I was going to say Bluebird.
Yeah. So how important is it? Because I feel like that's the part of the music industry that everybody just forgets about right now, is these small independent venues. How important is it for those places to get the support they need right now?
Dude, it's so important. I mean, right now I'm reading Debbie Harry's book, Face It, and she's talking about going to CBGB and watching the Ramones or the New York Dolls, and it really created her identity. This totally just kind of created parts of, it was history. These are parts of history. And it's so important that we honor these venues and what they've been to the music industry. Some of the most incredible artists of all times have been literally like birthed from these venues, and we just, we've got to protect them. We've got to protect the music. And so it's definitely an honor for me. I love everybody that's also participating in this event, and so it's just a real honor.
It's a killer lineup. And remind me, I should know this, but it's on YouTube, right?
Yep, it's on YouTube, and I'm doing some covers, so obviously. And so I'm really excited about that, because some of the covers I'm doing really, again, kind of came from venues like we're fighting for right now.
Absolutely. We can't wait for that. There's two real hot button issues that I know you're advocating for a lot that I want to touch on. One is mental health. You've been you've been a great advocate for mental health over the years. I think in 2020, mental health means something entirely different from what it's ever meant before. So what tips would you have for anybody out there that's struggling right now, that they feel lost or they feel disconnected or whatever it is that their demons are?
I would say one thing, right now is probably something that's kind of enhancing the struggle of anxiety, is that a lot of these fears that we have do turn into these realities in this year. Obviously health is something that causes a lot of anxiety for people, worrying about the people that they love and their health. And with this, COVID-19 crisis, it's made a lot of those kind of fears a reality.
Totally.
And so I think just being honest with what you really need with the people around you too, and with yourself, And I think it's been hard to do that because we've had such disconnect, but we've been told to distance and to isolate ourselves. So we're losing that sense of community, but just get creative in the ways that you can create some stability, again, and relationships, and really be honest about what you really need, whether that's time, meditation, taking walks, it's just really important.
Yeah, don't live your life in your phone, basically. Try to figure out something
Yeah.
else to do.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing, which I saw you post something about it today, is voting. Now, the registration deadline is already passed in Tennessee, but obviously you have fans all around the world, all around the United States. For anybody who's a first-time voter or on the fence about whether or not their vote counts, what would you say to encourage them to get out the polls in November?
I would say that, in my short lifespan, but I've also was sitting with, I told you I was in Nashville, Tennessee with my grandmother yesterday, and she was saying she's never seen our country in this position before, and that's coming from my grandma who's close to 90. So that is totally terrifying to me because she's been through some pretty tough times. You know, she grew up in Kentucky, where my dad's from, didn't have a lot of money, and she just was talking to me about how important this election is, even for her. And so I just think that I can't stress enough how important it is to know your power, know that your vote does count, and that just, this is where the people really get to decide what we want for this country and make it possible. And so that everyone has to be active.
Absolutely. Miley Cyrus, you're amazing. Hometown girl. Thank you so much for coming on. I had one more question. I was going to try not to do it, but I posted this on Instagram that we were talking to you, and you probably know what's coming next. Everybody wants to know, is there something with Hannah Montana coming? Is there a Hannah Montana revival in the works?
At some point, I'm getting the wig out of storage.
You have to. We absolutely have to see a Hannah Montana revival, but not before we see a Miley Cyrus world tour. That's got to happen in 2021.
For sure. I can't wait. We got to just, continue to be so grateful for the tireless, efforts that people are putting in trying to get this vaccine so we can all safely get back together again, and just keep learning about Corona so we can take the next steps to getting together again.
Congratulations on Midnight Sky. We can't wait to hear the rest of the album. And come see us next time you're back in town, please, as long as we're past.
I will, for sure. Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye.